Once upon a time, there was a beautiful kingdom with a magnificent castle surrounded by deep green forests and sparkling lakes. In this castle lived a king who had several daughters, but his youngest daughter was so lovely that even the sun seemed to shine brighter when it looked upon her face. Everyone called her Princess Elise, and she was not only beautiful, but also quite spoiled. Princess Elise had a favorite toy, a golden ball. It was perfectly round, smooth, and shiny, and it gleamed like a little sun. Every afternoon, she would take her golden ball to the forest and play with it by an old well under a great linden tree. She would throw the ball up into the air and catch it over and over again, laughing with delight. One warm summer day, Princess Elise was playing by the well as usual. She threw her golden ball high into the air, but this time, when she reached out to catch it, it slipped through her fingers. The ball bounced once, twice, and then, splash, it fell, right into the deep well. The well was so deep and so dark that she couldn't see the bottom. Her precious golden ball was gone. The princess began to cry. She cried and cried, sobbing loudly. She didn't know what to do. She loved that ball so much. Suddenly, she heard a strange voice. "What's wrong, princess? Why are you crying so loudly?" Elise looked around, startled. Who was speaking? Then she looked down and saw, sitting on the edge of the well, a fat, green, ugly frog. Did you just talk?" Elise asked, shocked. The frog nodded his head. "Yes, I did. Now tell me, why are you crying?" The princess wrinkled her nose in disgust, but she was desperate. "I dropped my golden ball into the well, and now it's gone forever. It was my favorite toy." The frog blinked his big eyes thoughtfully. "I can get your ball back for you. I can dive down into the well and bring it up." Princess Elise's face lit up with hope. "Really? Oh, you would do that for me?" The frog croaked. "Yes, but what will you give me in return?" The princess thought quickly. "I'll give you anything you want. My jewels, my pearls, my golden crown, anything." But the frog shook his head. "I don't want your jewels or your crown. I want something else. I want to be your friend. I want to sit beside you at your table, eat from your golden plate, drink from your golden cup, and sleep in your bed. If you promise me this, I will get your ball." Princess Elise thought this was a ridiculous request. A frog? Eat at her table? Sleep in her beautiful bed? How disgusting. But she wanted her ball so badly, and she didn't think the frog could actually make her keep such a silly promise anyway. So she said, Yes, I promise. Just get my ball." The frog smiled, as much as a frog can smile, and dove into the deep, dark well with a big splash. A few moments later, he came back up, holding the golden ball in his mouth. He placed it on the grass beside the well. Princess Elise was so happy. She grabbed her ball, laughed with joy, and immediately ran back toward the castle. Wait for me," the frog called after her. "You promised. Take me with you." But Princess Elise didn't listen. She ran as fast as she could, leaving the poor frog behind. She thought she'd never have to see him again. That evening, the princess was having dinner with her father, the king, and her sisters. They were eating from golden plates in the grand dining hall. Everything was elegant and beautiful. Suddenly, they heard a strange sound at the door. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Then came a knock and a croaky voice calling, "Princess Elise, open the door for me. Remember your promise by the well." The princess went to the door and opened it just a crack. When she saw the ugly wet frog sitting there, she slammed the door shut immediately and ran back to the table. Her face was pale. The king noticed. "What's wrong, my dear? Who is at the door? Is something frightening you?" The princess didn't want to tell the truth, but her father kept asking, until finally she explained everything: the golden ball, the well, the frog, and the promise she had made. When she finished, the king looked at her sternly. "A promise is a promise, Elise. If you gave your word, you must keep it. It doesn't matter if it was to a frog. A princess must always honor her promises. Now go and let him in." Princess Elise did not want to obey, but she didn't dare disobey her father. With a disgusted look on her face, she opened the door. The frog hopped inside, following her across the marble floor. Splish splash, splish splash. "Lift me up to sit beside you," the frog said. The princess didn't move. "Do as he says," the king ordered firmly. So, with great reluctance, Elise picked up the cold, wet, slimy frog and placed him on the chair next to hers. The frog looked at the table. "Now push me closer so I can reach the food." The princess pushed his chair closer, her face twisted with disgust. "Now I want to eat from your golden plate," said the frog. Princess Elise wanted to refuse, but her father was watching, so she had to let the frog eat from her plate. The frog enjoyed the meal very much, eating and croaking happily, but the princess couldn't eat a single bite. She felt sick just looking at him. When dinner was finally over, the frog patted his full belly and said, "I'm tired now. Carry me upstairs to your bedroom and let me sleep in your soft bed." This was too much for Princess Elise. "No," she cried. "I will not have this disgusting creature in my beautiful bed." But the king's voice was like thunder. "Elise, the frog helped you when you needed him. He trusted your word. Now you must keep your promise, or you are not worthy of being called a princess." But she knew she had to obey. She picked up the frog with just 2 fingers, holding him as far away from her as possible, and carried him upstairs to her bedroom. In her room, she set the frog down in the corner on the floor. "There, you can sleep there." But the frog shook his head. "No, you promised I could sleep in your bed. I'm tired, and I want to rest on your soft pillow." "Fine," she shouted. In her anger, she picked up the frog and threw him against the wall. "There, now leave me alone." But the moment the frog hit the wall, the most amazing thing happened. There was a bright flash of golden light, and the frog disappeared. In his place stood a handsome young prince with kind eyes and a gentle smile. He was wearing royal clothes, and he looked at the princess with gratitude and joy. Princess Elise gasped and stumbled backward in shock. "What? Who are you?" The prince smiled. "Thank you for breaking the curse," he said gently. "My name is Prince Adrian. Many years ago, an evil witch cast a spell on me and turned me into a frog. She said I would stay a frog forever unless a princess let me eat from her plate, drink from her cup, and sleep in her bed. And only then could the spell be broken. You fulfilled the conditions, even though you didn't want to. And now, I'm free." Princess Elise felt ashamed. She had been so mean and selfish. She had only kept her promise because her father forced her to, not because it was the right thing to do. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I was unkind to you. You helped me, and I treated you terribly." Prince Adrian shook his head kindly. "You kept your promise in the end. That's what matters. Besides, I understand. I wasn't exactly pleasant to look at as a frog." They both laughed, and in that moment, Princess Elise saw how truly kind and good Prince Adrian was. They stayed up talking for hours. The next morning, a magnificent carriage arrived at the castle, pulled by 8 white horses. The coachman explained that he was Prince Adrian's loyal servant, and he had been searching for his master ever since the curse was placed. The king was amazed by the whole story. and thanked Prince Adrian for teaching his daughter an important lesson about keeping promises. Prince Adrian invited Princess Elise to visit his kingdom. Over time, their friendship grew into love. Adrian loved Elise not for her beauty, but for who she was becoming: kinder, more thoughtful, more humble. And Elise loved Adrian for his gentle heart and his patience. A year later, they were married in a grand celebration, attended by both kingdoms. Princess Elise learned an important lesson that she never forgot. Always keep your promises. Treat everyone with kindness, no matter what they look like. And she and Prince Adrian lived happily ever after, ruling their kingdoms with wisdom, justice, and love.